friends, it's Meg, and today I am excited to be filming a video that has been requested before. I think a couple people have actually asked for this video here on my channel before, so I am so excited to finally be sitting down and filming this today. It is my Disney World pin collection. So a bit of a story time with this here. In a video that I had put out a little while ago, actually, I had mentioned that on some of my beginning, first couple trips to Walt Disney World, when I was seriously in kindergarten, first, second grade, around that age, I was super into Disney pin trading. I was talking to my mom about it, and I don't think that I ever actively pin traded, actually traded with the cast members or other guests, but I was more so I guess you could say a pin collector. That was the souvenir that I always wanted to take home, and I thought they were so cool, was going into all the gift shops and finding pins that was either a character that I really liked or an attraction that I really liked, and that was the thing that I wanted from those first couple trips. That was the big souvenirs that I would bring back, was that I accumulated a bit of a Disney pin collection. In recent years, I honestly, I am not really, people ask me, are you into the pin trading thing and pin collecting? And honestly, now I'm not. As an adult, and even when I was going to Disney in middle school and high school, I gravitated towards other things as my souvenirs. I was always more interested in the t-shirts. You guys know I have a million Disney t-shirts, and the jewelry and other things like that I never kind of got back into the pin trading thing. But because of that, I still to this day, I have proudly all of my Disney pins, and a lot of these are, like I said, from my very first trip to Walt Disney World, which I was in, let's see, that was kindergarten. It was the end of kindergarten was my very first trip to Walt Disney World. So it was 2003, 2004 was my first ever trip to Walt Disney World. And so a lot of these pins are from that era, the early 2000s. So anyone, I'm looking for, leave me comments if you are someone who is into Disney pin trading, who is up on everything, because I know it is a whole culture. I have friends who are into pin trading, and they really, people get into this. It really is a whole community. So let me know. I feel because some of these are from so long ago, you're talking over 20 years ago, these have to be worth something, right? Or how does that even work in the pin trading community? Is this an extra super rare trade that would be worth all the pins, or how does that work? I want to know. Leave me some comments, let me know if anything that I have here is something, extra special. So okay, with that, let's go ahead and jump right into it. This one, okay, the first one, I have to start with my favorite guy. It's Figment. So I have mentioned before in the vlogs and here just on my channel in general that I am a huge Figment girl. You can see right back here, I have my little Figment plush. I can remember getting him on, that might have been my very first trip in kindergarten. If not, it was one of the very early trips that I had. I feel it was my very first one though, that I got that Figment plush, and I am obsessed with Figment. He is my favorite Disney character. I've always been like that ever since getting to experience his ride. As a child, on my first trip to Disney, I just thought he was so cool. I've always been a very creative person. I've loved, art and painting and drawing, and especially as a kid, I was always into arts and crafts and things like that. So the whole premise of Figment being all about imagination and storytelling, I just really related to that. So that's why he has forever been my go-to character. I love Figment. And this pin this might be my favorite that I have on the lanyard here. It is super adorable. As you can see, it's Figment as a tourist. He has his two suitcases there. It's actually very appropriate. It was kind of some foreshadowing to I was gonna get into vlogging. He's got a camera around his neck there, and he's looking at, it looks like maybe some Polaroids. That's real old school, right? He's got sunglasses on top of his head. I really love this pin. This is, yeah, this one's awesome. So the next pin that I have on here, this is one that, it is an official Disney pin, but I feel it actually came out before pin trading was even a thing, because this was one that my mom had from one of her either first trips or like when her and my dad were first married. And then when I got into pin trading when I was younger, she gave me this to put on my lanyard here. And I love it. It's a Mickey Americana United States pin right there with our flag and the star. Like, I know that they always say that you can tell the real Disney pins by they have the Mickeys like printed on the back, but I just looked, my Figment as well doesn't even have that, because I feel like these were like such a beginning error, you know, to the pins, that they didn't even start doing that yet. So yeah, this one I know for a fact is like, was not even from like one of my first trips in the early 2000s. I feel like this was probably from like the 1990s if I had to guess. So moving on here, these next two actually, I have a Donald Duck in a plane and then a Goofy in an airplane. And these were ones that I think when my parents booked our like trips in the early 2000s, I remember Disney would send you, you know, if you book directly with Disney, they would always send you sometimes like, you know, your itinerary and little goodie things, like your whole portfolio of everything. And nowadays, you know, you get your magic bands. Well, actually, you don't anymore. You used to. In kind of recent years, you would get magic bands. Now they do it. It's an upcharge when you book a stay at a Disney resort. It is given to you at kind of a discounted price. So if you want a new magic band, it makes sense to buy one right then. But yeah, the whole perk of it being like a freebie thing, that's over. But what are you gonna do, right? But yeah, there was a point in time that I remember when we were booking our trips in the early 2000s, you would get sent, you know, a little package, and these pins were in there. I don't know if I got both these at the same point in time, or maybe it was, you know, one of them was from one trip, one was from another. So yeah, those two. I think those are super cool. It's so appropriate too, because it's like airplanes, you're getting ready to go on your trip, so that's cute. The next one, this is another one that I want to say, I think my mom had this. Like, I don't remember picking this out on my first couple Disney vacations in the early 2000s. I feel like this was one that my mom also had from either her childhood or, like I said, when her and my dad were first married. It's this Bambi pin, which is very cute. And yeah, this one I can just tell is much older, like definitely an original pin. So then moving on here, the next one that I have is Oddball, who is one of the 101 or maybe 102 Dalmatians. I was obsessed as a kid with when 102 Dalmatians came out, which was like the live action 101 Dalmatian movie, and it would play on Disney Channel all the time. And I just like, because I've always loved dogs, so like I loved that movie. So I feel like I was going through that phase when we were on one of our Disney trips and I saw Oddball in the park, and just I had to have him. He's so cute. So there's my little Oddball pin. Then there's this Thumper. I feel like this one probably went with the one earlier that I showed you, the Bambi that my mom gave me. This also would have been from that same era, which I'm really curious about. I'd have to ask her if she has any recollection of why she has these pins or when she got them. But yeah, so I feel like they definitely go together, almost like a set or something. You have Bambi and Thumper there. The next one that I have, it's Herbie the Love Bug. This is also something that on one of my like early trips to Disney, it was kind of around the time frame that the newer remake of Herbie the Love Bug with Lindsay Lohan, when that movie came out. And my dad, he's like the original like Herbie the Love Bug fan. He loves all the movies. He's always been like into VW bugs. I currently drive a Volkswagen Beetle as well, which I've named Herbie. That's my car's name. So I've always loved Herbie the Love Bug from a very young age. So this was also one of my like original early 2000s trips to the park. I got a Herbie the Love Bug pin. All right, so moving on here to the next side of the lanyard. Once again, with my obsession, as I said, with the Dalmatians, with the 101, 102 Dalmatians. This pin is another one of my favorites. I think it's the Figment one and then this one that are my faves on my lanyard. As you can see, it's like two of the Dalmatians, and they're almost on like this little like whimsical tree or something. It reminds me of like It's a Small World. That's like the vibes that I get from this pin. Quick update, so I'm actually editing this video right now, and I realized that this is an It's a Small World pin. On the back it says that it is number 5 of 15 from a special It's a Small World collection that Disney did, and this was a limited edition of 2000, so this is a special pin. There you go. Yeah, it is just, I love how intricate it is. This was one that I can remember like picking out as a child, and like I just thought it was so cute with the doggies, and yeah, I love this. So the next one that I have here is actually broken. pin, and I don't know where the other part of it went to, but it's an Eeyore pin, and you can see here the little spring that's going down from there. His body was attached to that spring and would kind of give like a little bit of a bobblehead effect, but that broke, so there you go. But that was another one that I know was definitely from the early 2000s. I also had here to show you, this one is not for some reason on the lanyard because these were not built the best. This is another one of these like bobblehead pins. As you can see, this one is Pluto, another Disney doggy. I love that. But as you can see here, it's like very much like it doesn't want to stay right. So that's why I took it off the lanyard, because it wasn't working. Whenever I had it on the lanyard, it would just like kind of get flipped around and get twisted. So yeah, but this was also, I wonder if this has a year. Oh, I just realized some of them do. This is 2006. Yeah, 2006, I think that says. Well, there you go. So there's when that one's from. I'll have to insert, when I'm editing this and like actually looking at the backs of all these, I'll have to insert if I can see a year that they have on the back. I'm sure I would have popped that up on the screen here. So moving right along here, I once again have more of my Disney doggies. There is Lady and the Tramp. I can't remember, I feel like I bought them separately, and I think I bought the one, and then I remember I wanted to buy another souvenir. Like I can't remember this on one of my early trips that I had to get, you know, Lady can't be without the Tramp, Tramp can't be without Lady, they need each other. So I have both of them on here, and let's see, does that have its year? I think that says 2002. Oh my gosh, those are like, this would have been then my very first trip in kindergarten that I would have gotten them, I think. Then I have this Crush the Turtle one, which I believe says on there 2007. So that's also an early 2000s one. This one right here, this Ariel one, this is very special. My friend Jason, he actually gifted this to me. Me and him used to work together, and I know he loves Disney pin trading. He knew that Ariel is my absolute favorite Disney princess, so when he saw this, he actually traded and gave me this pin. So this is a more newer one. You can tell the back of it has that design that they always tell you to look for to know that it's an official Disney Parks pin, and it's Ariel sitting on the rock, like her silhouette there. I love this one. So then down here, these are also ones, there's a Goofy in a car and a Mickey in a car, and both of these were also from, I want to say it was one of those promotions like when you booked your trip in the early 2000s and they would send you your packet of everything. These pins were included in that. That's what I think that was how we got these, and they are so cute. Like, it's just, once again, very appropriate, because you think like, just like I showed you guys the plane set, it's like you're heading off on your vacation, you're traveling, so it's like there they are getting in the car. It's super cute. Yeah, I just took it off the thing here. It says 2005, so wow, that was also a very early on trip. Okay, so the next one, once again, me and my Disney dogs. I thought this was such a cute pin. Like, it's another one that I can remember seeing as a child and just like loving instantly. It's Pluto in his little doghouse, and I can remember somewhere, I think it was maybe at Epcot, like an early on flower and garden festival, that they had, I'll have to insert the picture if I can find it. They had like a walkthrough that you could like go into. There was like Pluto's doghouse, and there was like a big topiary of him. I feel like that would have been at Epcot. Maybe that was somewhere else though. I don't think it was Toontown. It was definitely different. But yeah, I think that I had just been in there, and then this pin was like around there somewhere, that it's, you know, Pluto in his doghouse, and it has all of the Disney dogs surrounding it. So that is so cute. Okay, so the next one, I feel like this is going to be extremely, extremely vintage. It is the Magical Express Disney bus. And this, I have a very vivid memory of checking in at Port Orleans. That's where I had mentioned in one of my Q&A videos that my first like 3 Disney trips, like in like early elementary school, was staying at Port Orleans Riverside. That's where my family always stayed. And I have this vivid memory of checking in there, or maybe we were like at the gift shop or something. One of the cast members was saying that, you know, I think we were checking in, because they were saying, you know, since we were just checking in, we got to pick out one of these pins. And so my dad let me pick out which one we were gonna get, since I was all into the pin trading. And it was from a whole Disney bus collection. This is where, don't you wish like these type of things were vlogged, like, you know, these type of moments. It was, I want to say there was almost like 5 different bus styles to choose from, of like these Disney transportation buses. And this one I wanted because it was the Magical Express, and I wanted it because it's the one that takes you to Walt Disney World. So, and looking at it, the Magical Express buses don't even look like this anymore. And soon, in like a couple months, it's so sad, we're losing Magical Express at Walt Disney World, so it's then gonna be like extremely vintage, the entire service. So this is one that I feel like is probably maybe gonna be worth something one day. I'm for sure holding on to that one. So yeah, those are my pins, and you can see here, this is on one of the original like pin trading lanyards, the classic blue lanyard, and then it has on the back the instructions on how to pin trade. Love that. So those are all of my pins, other than I have one other one that I wanted to mention because it is so special to me. It is actually one that I inherited from my grandfather, from my pup-up, who was honored as Magic Kingdom's Veteran of the Day back in 2015. And if you participate in the Magic Kingdom flag retreat ceremony, if you are Magic Kingdom's Veteran of the Day, there is a special Veteran of the Day pin that you can only get if you were the Veteran of the Day. So that hands down has to be my favorite pin that I have. I'm so lucky that I get to hold on to that, and I want to do something definitely very special with that to display that in some way, because yeah, it means so much to me and my family. So yeah, that one definitely has to take the cake as the most special Disney pin that I have in my collection, and the one that I've gotten the most recently. So yeah, you see we have pins for everything. We have really like sentimental pins, and then we have all these fun pins that have the nostalgia of like the early 2000s Disney vacations. So let me know, like I said, you guys, leave me some comments if you are like a pin trading person and know anything about any of these pins. Please, I am all ears in the comments down below. Let me know what you think, and if you are into pin trading, and because I know I have a lot of friends that are like super into pin trading, and they love collecting the special pins from like opening days of, you know, different attractions or things like that. I feel like if I got into doing that, I would go broke, because I know it's something that it's like once you start it, you can't stop. But yeah, the Disney pins, they're awesome. So I've been wanting to film this video, like I said, for a while. I'm very excited that I got to sit down and share this with all of you. So be sure to go ahead, give this video a thumbs up, leave me some comments down below. All those things, your likes, your comments, your subscriptions, it really does go such a far way in helping to support the channel, and in turn helping to support me. So thank you so much for taking the time to do all of that. And with that, make today magical, and I will see you soon in my next video. Bye guys!